I don't see big companies coming around until it's legalized completely. So I think going to events, uh, talking to other vendors that are mom and pops at events, seeing what other companies that are around that may not be too large, but they have a following or they have a support behind them. And it may not be as large as you want it, but I mean, they add up, and you get to know that some of these people in this community, and they're willing to come and just support what you're doing. It's not even really about the products; it's really about you being supportive for others, and they want to return to you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Coffee and Crazy People. I'm Alexis. I'm going to be your host, and we're going to talk about things that I find interesting, mostly cats, cannabis, and business, and everything in between. So I want to thank my guest today, Robert Ramirez, for joining me. Thanks, Robert, for being my first guest on my podcast.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Alexis, for having me here. It's super exciting. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, Robert is an operations manager for Nature's Joint. Why don't you take some time and tell us a little bit about your journey and what you're doing these days?
So I've been in the cannabis scene for going on 6 years, 2018. So about 5 years. Um, I have done a bit of everything, dabbled with. I come from sales, and I've been doing sales in cannabis since the beginning, but then kind of ventured out into different aspects of the company, like a little bit of photography, a little bit of graphic designing, nothing crazy at all, but just trying to pick up those skills to put more into the business. And really, family brought me into this. So in the beginning, my parents are the ones who kind of who have created Nature's Joint and built what Nature's Joint is now. They have different products they manufacture. In the beginning, we just actually white labeled for the first couple months. Then my father started manufacturing or like getting the material to create products. And now, speed up to time, now he's growing and extracting and creating his own material to create his own product. So we're now a seed to sell or farm to sell company. We are one of the only Latino owned companies in Texas. I believe we were one of the first. Um, we've we've done our fair share of teaching customers of cannabis and hemp and how it can help them and their loved ones. I think that's really what Nature's Joint is about. We do serve coffees in the morning, so it is nice to have like a cup of coffee in exchange for just a little bit of information on the plant. Not everybody's interested. Some people just want their coffee to go. But the people that do come in do ask for more information. They do wonder how this product may help them and such stuff like that. So it's been a journey for sure. It's a new industry, and I'm growing with it as cannabis grows as well. So it's exciting, and I look forward to the next couple of years.
Awesome. That's so cool. I really enjoy visiting your shop. What stuff do you sell the most?
Hmm. So I believe I'm pretty sure it's our capsules. Our capsules are 25 milligrams each with turmeric and ginger. It's a 40 count. It's a 40 count jar of full spectrum capsules. I think the turmeric and ginger have a good reaction with the full spectrum, which kind of like dissolves the pain throughout the day, but as well keeps them uplifted and energetic to take on whatever they got to handle. Next to that would probably be, of course, I think everyone else is Delta 8 products. So it would be our gummies. Right next to the capsules, they're like 25 milligrams as well, Delta 8. And then the third one would probably be our coffee, depending on how you take it. Cups of coffee, bag of coffee. We do get a lot of people that ask for like for the infused side of coffee, and you do notice a difference with it. And then some people just want regular coffee, so it is just a good bag of coffee, good beans, good grinded uh, grinds, and, and good tasting coffee. So it's those are our three products that we probably sell the most.
Awesome. How did you get to a point where you decided you wanted to combine the coffee and dispensary element into your business? I
I
have my
think
coffee.
I had
Still.
I know what that is. No, I think my parents have always had that idea of like wanting to integrate the coffee. Like in the beginning, like the first year we opened, even the couple months we opened, it was really just our products, but we made coffee products, like bags of coffee, and we wanted to sample those out. So we would French press the cup of coffee or the grinds of coffee. And it kind of got into a rhythm of people like coming just for coffee. So it turned from a sample to a cup of coffee. And so like within months, we kind of like saw that happening, and we're like, well, I guess we should, if it's working, why try and fix it? And for the Austin location, when that came in, I think they really took the idea of what Amsterdam does, that type of style. We kind of have the wood finish, and we kind of want to enlighten the cafe with the different colors. And then as well as like serve the hemp products and CBD products. In Amsterdam, they sell real cannabis with their coffee. I believe they're the only ones that can sell cannabis, um, and are licensed to carry that. And so that's the goal, is to kind of like take take a bit of that style that's been around for a little bit and integrate it with what we have here. So now it's a cafe. We're working on getting the bagels, the atmosphere, the aesthetic for it. That's the next big projects for us, is to create that atmosphere for the customers and the community. So kind of just grew into it as we just continued doing hemp and cannabis and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like how it's evolving based on what your customer needs are. And I think that's, all businesses you kind of have to learn from, what people are interested in. Tell me a little bit more about like what are some of those learnings that you have from just your encounters day to day with your customers?
Yeah, so I talk with all customers, all kinds of customers, and I mean, I've been doing that. I mean, for all the years I've been working in cannabis, so I really get the B2C experience, and I get to hear what they want and what fits their needs. um, you get a lot of like what I get is a lot of people who are new to it. It's like a 50-50. People that are new to it and people that have already tried it but didn't find the best experience, or maybe it did, but they come in and they ask a few questions like, hey, what may be best for my sleep, my anxiety, my pain, and whatever, and what product would suit me for my lifestyle. And I kind of took those experiences and really learned what products work. But that's why I said like the capsules have the turmeric and ginger. So it's like a everlasting throughout the day type of pain relief, but you feel uplifted. Delta 8, right, can do, it can give you a good euphoric feeling, but it can also give you that pain relief at a minimum dose that people don't, that people don't really look for when they buy Delta 8. And so we kind of try to like, I want to sample out, get sample bags for the capsules. That's what we're creating. And then same thing like the Delta 8, like 2 piece, 2 counts type of deal. Something that someone can invest a small amount to try in that product. And then, if they liked it, they'll come back instead of spending, I don't know, like 60, $50 on a jar of capsules that they don't know they will like. That's something that I've really take to to consideration for customers, that they have a budget and something that can be a sample or to go or something for them to just try would be very beneficial for them. Trying to, I actually, in here in Nature Joint, like I have this wall that kind of has like, I don't know, I think you saw it last time, but it has like a 1 through 10 ranking scale. And then it has like the oil, the capsules, pain cream, the honey. And I kind of created something like that that people can look at, and because they always have questions like, so is this gonna, like, even though you explain it to them, they still
Yeah.
have questions. And like, and it's a new kind of it's a new thing for them. And it's funny for me to experience that. Like, I've been smoking for so long that I forget customers, not everyone knows what sativa indica are, or like have heard about that, or even know what, some people don't know what THC is or Delta 9. And it's like, even the smokers that smoke, like
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to admit, like, I spent a week and a half, a couple weeks ago, just looking at all the minor cannabinoids. Like, I was like, okay, I don't know what THCO is. I think it's time for me to learn. You
yeah,
know, so and it's ever evolving, right? So you're constantly having to stay up with it. But I find
constantly,
myself at events too, like constant education,
yeah,
which is
constant,
good to hear. Like, it's
yeah.
good, right? That people are interested.
People are interested and they're looking for a reliable source to get their information from. um, I think that's what kept us up and above for our customers. We weren't scared to really like inform them, or like really dissect what they need, for whoever it may be. Sometimes it's not even for themselves. Sometimes it's for their parents. I have had Elliot,
Your assistant, your personal
my,
assistant.
my assistant. I've had her. She's now 3.5, so about 2.5 years. She's been with me every day. In the beginning, it wasn't every day. Now we've got to the point where my fiance, now she's working every day, so she works at home too. We have another little one, right? So she has a sister named Genesis. She stays with mom at home. I take her. Kind of, it beats daycare as much as sometimes I'm like, I just kind of want to get away. Um, what happened?
Sorry. Nothing, you're good.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, nothing, you're good.
it's okay.
So this kind of prefaces my next question. Like, what's the challenges of running a business, huh? What are the pros and cons of running a business, Robert?
That is a beautiful question. The pros and cons. I think everybody has different pros and cons. I think we all have the same amount. I think for us in our position, it is one, marketing is a huge obstacle, just because you don't have the resources that every other company has. Facebook, Instagram. Some companies that are, especially since we live in Texas, they aren't 420 friendly. Some companies aren't willing to work with you just because of what your industry is. And we experienced that early on. We were actually going to work with HEB right here off Slaughter and Menchac, and we were going to have our name on every back of the receipt, on every receipt on the back. It would be our logo and Nature's Joint, and coffee and whatnot. We signed everything. Everything was ready to go. We signed the contract with the I guess the contractor, whoever was like getting the people. And I guess last minute HEB said, "Hey, do you think you can change your name?" And we're like, well, in what way? And they're like, well, joint is just kind of too 420 feeling.
Too risky, right?
Yeah, too risky for them, I guess. And we're like, well, that's our name. We can't really change our name. We already have everything up, and just for your little promotion, which would really help us out, not little. But but when you compare to HEB and their name, it's like his name's Henry something, but, and it's like it's whatever. So we went against a large company, and we had to face that, and we had to let it go, because there was there's nothing you can do about it. You just kind of shake it off and keep going. Second thing.
How do you work around that though? Like when you run into those kinds of issues where, you've got these companies that are not cannabis friendly, who do you target then?
I think the way to get around that is really to invest more into your community by hosting things for that demographic, for the ones that are willing to come out and just support. I don't see big companies coming around until it's legalized completely. So I think, going to events, talking to other vendors that are mom and pops at events, seeing what other companies that are around that may not be too large, but they have a following, or they have a support behind them. And it may not be as large as you want it, but I mean, they add up, and you get to know some of these people in this community, and they're willing to come and just support what you're doing. It's not even really about the products. It's really about you being supportive for others, and they want to return the favor. That's what I've learned, honestly, is like, it's about the experience that they get from you, the person that you are, and they want to be there for you, and you don't want to turn that away, because they're more than welcome to turn other people on over here to check them out, or like, hey, you were looking for CBD, or you get your CBD products up north, there's a store like right around you. If you want to go to that one instead, save you some time. And those are just the nice little the nice things that you get in return from just supporting others, smaller businesses like ourselves. So there's not really a way working around large companies, but I mean, the next plan would to be there for your fellow community businesses. Like, be there for them, because they will be there for you. And that's what I would do, and that's what we are doing. I was kind of bummed out because we weren't able to make this festival. I got really sick. I think I told you. Right after Seismic, maybe a week, we got invited like 2-3 days before the event. It was like More Culture. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like a Latino event that they go out on the east side and support the culture that we've been having for so long. And so I didn't get to make it. I was super sick, and I really wish I got to, because that's the type of community and that's the type of support that we've always received, is from them and other people whenever we go to those events. Like,
Good job, Elliot. Good job. What's your favorite animal, Robert?
my favorite animal, any kind of animal, or like pet animal?
Yeah, any kind of animal.
I like cats. I like
See, I think you're just telling me that to make me happy.
No, I like them. They're cool. I guess I want to say a dog, but I guess it would have to be a dog. It would have to be a dog. I do love dogs. Actually, it is a dog.
Most people do. See, now he's crying to go out the door. They just don't like the door to be shut. Like,
Really?
I can't shut the doors.
Really? And then they start crying for you?
Yeah. We'll see how long this goes on. This is an interesting podcast recording for sure.
Everyone popping in. It's fun though. It's fun having Elliot here. Just, man, you don't get the most done, but it is a blessing to have her here. She's okay, and, not paying not paying daycare. Oh my God, daycare is expensive.
I know it is. And I don't have kids in daycare anymore, thank goodness. But yes, even after school care, like I pay, I think like $400 a month just for what, 2.5 hours after school.
Yeah,
And that's just one kid.
yeah, that's one kid. It's even more than that.
Let alone like all day daycare. Back in the day, because I'm an old lady, it was like when we first started, my 14-year-old, when I first put her in daycare, it was $8.75. And then by the time, so 6 years later, when I put my son in, it was like almost $1,300.
Yeah, no,
I can't even imagine what it is right now. So
yeah, you're looking at, because we've already looked at it, and it was like we might as well. I mean, you might as well not work. Is what I was telling my fiance. I was like, your checks are gonna go straight to the daycare, and it doesn't make sense. So it is a blessing to have her here every day. I do want to. I'm excited for her to go to school so she can get the right like interaction with the other people with her, and she gets to really meet other kids. And I think it'll take a lot of energy.
yeah. It's hard, right? When you're trying to keep them engaged and like you feel like they should be doing something educational, right? And maybe you don't have the time or space for it, but just know like she's learning being around you. I stayed at home with my mom. She didn't send me to school till first grade. I didn't even go to kindergarten. And I worked with her as well. Like we would go, I was always in the road because she was a real estate agent, showing houses, going and doing closing. So I was always at mortgage companies, this and that. I didn't appreciate it then, but I know that, there's something that they pick up from those experiences. It wouldn't be coffee and crazy people if we didn't have coffee to drink.
Seriously. The machine went out at that festival. So we have to wait for our new espresso, and I've been dying for it. I didn't realize how good espresso machine is, like how good espresso is, like so delicious.
Yeah, it's a totally different vibe than just some drip coffee.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with drip coffee, but once you get into the habit of espresso, oh my God. And I feel it.
I know. Well, I'll tell you, my husband drinks, he'll do a drip coffee with 2 shots of espresso in it. And like, that's what he drinks almost daily. It's really terrible. It's an expensive habit.
It's so good.
I am a 1 cup a day person, typically.
Yeah.
Today I had 2 cups. Mostly because I don't like the sleep. It messes with my sleep usually if I do it late. But I made the exception because, but I make all my coffee at home usually because, you got to be on a budget when you're running a business. So.
Big time. Man, the best part of this shop is having the espresso machine. Like you get it home. You're waiting for the next day for that cup of coffee. Because I try and limit myself. Like, okay, one small thing with the latte creamer and milk and all that good stuff. Just maybe an 8-ounce little cup. So it's really small. I used to get the 16, 12 ounce. And it's just like, it's good, but I could tell like, okay, it's not gonna be well for me, and later on throughout the day, like I need to just toke it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They taste so good, but in everything in moderation, right? Everything.
Exactly. Because so now I just can't do the drip coffee. I mean, it's okay, but it's not like.
So, what is your coffee that you like to make? What is your go-to every morning? Since you're an espresso man now.
I'll tell you exactly how to make a perfect cup of coffee. I have learned over hours of making coffee. I like mine not too sweet and a pretty good bold taste of coffee. So what I do is I think iced is better than hot, but when it's cold, hot is definitely the way to go. But if I was to go to, it would be a cup of ice. You run the espresso double shot, run the espresso in a 12 ounce. kind of mix the ice, like kind of like shuffle the cup so it's not just pouring over the same ice and just melting it. Kind of like give it a good twirl. Then I, and then I froth whole milk. You know what's really good actually? Oat milk. And
Yes, that's all I use now is oat milk for my coffee. My daughter turned me onto it, and I have not stopped since. I still drink regular milk or with my cereal and stuff, but in my coffee, it is oat milk, 100%.
Yeah, oat milk gives it this nice taste. So we pour maybe a fourth of the cup of creamer. I do vanilla. It sounds basic, but the vanilla with the oat milk. Then maybe the remaining, or maybe another 1/4 of oat milk in there. Whip it up because froth it. The frothing is such a good texture, and you pour it over the ice, and it just gives it this nice like just aesthetic coffee feel for only a split set, maybe a couple seconds, and then after that it kind of dissipates. But once it's so good. And then the first sip, the froth is the perfect texture, the perfect taste, and then it's just amazing. Something that I did try that I really want to get into is horchata with coffee. Have you ever had that?
I have not together, but it sounds delicious.
It is incredibly amazing. It's like I think I went to a Revival or someone got it for me from Revival. And the bottom half is coffee, the top half is horchata, or it might be the other way. But it's iced, and like you can like move the straw up or down to get whichever one you're feeling. You want, it's so good. It's just making the horchata right is that's the main thing.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part, but I'm pretty sure if you get it down, it is amazing. A beautiful taste. So shout out to Revival for that stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to Nature's Joints version since you guys are right around the corner for me, and Revival isn't.
Seriously,
I love Revival too. It's a super awesome place, but it's out of my 5-mile radius. I don't like to go out of my 5-mile radius.
I feel it. I don't like to go outside of my radius either. The only time I do is whenever I come to Nature's Joint, because I'm all the way. I live in Kyle, so it is about.
Yeah, you're out of 5-mile radius for sure.
So, but yeah, that's my cup of coffee: vanilla bean, oat milk, iced latte.
Yeah, I'm basic too. I love a good vanilla. My daughter likes to call me a basic bitch, and that's just what it is.
That's how
but my oat creamer that I buy though at the grocery store is caramel.
Caramel?
The one I typically use on a day-to-day basis. So
caramel is good, and I like it. I just found the vanilla bean more like, I don't know. It has this like good attachment with coffee. Like the caramel, you can taste the caramel and it tastes good. But this vanilla bean like has this taste that attaches itself to the coffee that just like, you get the bold taste, but you also get the vanilla hint. Where caramel, I feel like you taste a lot more caramel. It's just no.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That is what it is. Everybody's tastes are a little different, but I like variety. So I'm looking forward to some other things that you're going to come up with. Maybe the Cat Pharm and Nature's Joint can do some specialty drinks together.
Seriously?
Let's talk about that in the near future.
That'd be fun. That'd be some fun.
We'll do some cat-inspired drinks. See how that.
What would be so cool is having those treats for the cats.
Yeah, I can't wait. So I've started having conversations with, well, I know like they do for the dogs is what you're talking about, like little cream things.
Because they have ice cream for cats, right?
Yeah, they do. It's got some kind of specialty milk because apparently cow's milk is not good for cats, but Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
I don't think so. I think that'd be super cool. I think you'd find a lot of people bringing their cats. I don't
Hey,
know.
yeah, we're looking for cat-friendly places all over the place, and there are more and more people putting their cats on leashes and taking their what do they call adventure cats? Have you heard that term yet?
No, it's so
They're
funny.
adventure cats. They go out, they do things. They're not homebound.
I think it's so funny when I see them, the cats on the. I think it's so.
Oh man. Well, if you're interested in spending a little money this weekend, Pop Cats is happening,
Yeah.
which you'll get to see lots of cats on leashes and in backpacks and in strollers. Most will have glasses on or some kind of party hat. It is a cat event. I'm looking forward to it. I will be posting pictures. I know you'll see them.
I might go out because Elliot loves cats. Elliot's a cat person.
Yeah, so it's like the whole front of the room they do is like adoption, and there's little tents so you can go in and play with kittens. So for sure, like she wants to play with kitties. She will get her fill. There's gonna be a lady there. She's from the Manchac area. She does tattoos. She's gonna be doing cat tattoos at the cat convention. So I've been thinking about a new cat tattoo.
Yeah?
So I may have found my person to do it for me. Who knows?
You have a cat tattoo?
I do have a cat tattoo. It is nowhere indecent, so I'll show you next time. It's on my foot. It is a cat on a moon. So
live, super live.
Yeah, that was the very first tattoo I ever got when I was 18 years old. So he did a good job. It's still pretty like bright and stuff for being 22 years old.
Color?
So,
Live.
So, yeah.
I would, yeah, no, that'd be live. That's a great, a cat walking on the moon is a great concept.
Oh man.
You have an astronaut helmet or anything? No.
No, he probably needs one. That would add to the theme, right? That's for the next iteration, I guess.
That would be live. I love it. But yeah, my sister's always been a cat person. I mean, I like them. I love them. I love my cats. If I did have a cat at one point, but it was like a long time ago.
What was your cat's name?
Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Yeah, and she was
good old-fashioned cat name.
Yeah, it was a great because she was I guess they're called blue Russians or like coats.
A Russian blue, yep.
Yeah, she was actually when I was at my grandma's, my great grandma's, which is funny. She walked up to my sister, and so she was kind of like a stray cat, but she was a kitten at the time, so she was still really small. She had green eyes and she was a really pretty color. And we ended up like taking her just because how cool she was. Like when she like just walked up to us.
Guess what? What? Oh, that's cool. Hey, guess what? On this side, a different cat is crying at the door this time. Would you like to meet the different cat? Come on, Mia. It's your turn. This is Mia. She doesn't know how she feels about being on camera, though.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, kitty.
She doesn't know why I'm holding her right now. She's not interested at all. If they'd stop crying at the door.
She's so cute though. I like the color of her.
Yeah, she has a belt. She's like completely orange around the center. It's funny. Those are tortoise shell, is what they call those coats. And they're in the calico family. And then they have these attitudes. They're known for being sassy. I can attest, she's a little sassy. Her and Elliot would get along.
Really sassy. Oh my god.
Yeah, you got your hands full, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's never a dull moment ever. Let's see.
So as we, I guess, wrap up, You got any words of advice for our listeners?
For our listeners, I would say, I would say through everything that everyone's going through, you're gonna be okay. I think everyone's going through something. It's life, you know. And if that's you growing your business, you're gonna get a ton of things thrown at you. There's gonna be days where you feel discouraged and down, and you just kind of want to give up. But I say just keep going because you can't stop. I like to look at it like then you've wasted your time spending your time on what you thought you were going to do. So never give up. Even if you have to put it on the back burner for a second, you know, you got to focus on something. Just know that you're going to come back to it and know that things take time. As fast as I wanted us to be aesthetically pleasing and whatnot, I think I'm grateful for the customers and people that we've had come in and hear us and support us more than anything. Hearing their testimonies is such an amazing thing. It makes you feel great, like you're doing something. And that's me. I'm very, I like to help others, and that makes me feel good. Um, if it's, you know, other things that you're going through life, just know you're going to be okay. You just got to keep going. It's tough times, especially right now. There's a lot of chaotic things going on, and that's if you dip into the national news and just it's a lot. And I feel like sometimes we get sucked into that, and it can play a role in our how our day is going to be affected. And you know, there's just a lot of things that come at you as a person, and don't let those things get to you. Just focus on you, focus on what you're doing, keep your head up, and just stay strong. And yeah, just keep on going, keep on. That's
That's
it.
awesome. That's a fantastic message.
Thank
So
you.
if anybody wants to come pick up one of those vanilla espresso coffees, where can they find you? How do you want them to reach out?
So they can follow us at Nature's Joint underscore ATX. That is our personal, or that's the one I run. I haven't done a lot to it. I really try and take one project at a time, but that's where you'll find we'll post sometimes the events that we go to. Pretty soon I want to start cranking out the good, you know, just creating the atmosphere for our Instagram. We do have another Nature's Joint, which is at Nature's Joint underscore 06. That's the original one. So that's the one that they control and they play with. And they definitely post a lot on there. So if you ever wanted to find information on that, feel free. And then in store, we're here off Slaughter and Menchaca, south, pretty south of Austin, almost the end of it. And stop by for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
All right. One last thing. Any words of advice for me as I continue my journey into podcasting?
there's another friend here. Hold on, I'm on the. Hold on, I'll go out there. Right now. You want to tell her bye? You want to tell her bye? She's.
Oh, bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Say see you later.
See you later. Where's your push?
You have it, it's over there. I would say as a newcomer who's coming into this industry, I think something that I told one of my friends a while back, and she's still on. You know, she told me we hadn't talked for a while, and she told me like, "Yeah, I just remembered what you told me," and it's just to focus on yourself. Just focus on you, your business, not your competitors, not things that other people are doing. Focus on what you need to do. I think it's easy to get discouraged by other people. You know, they have so much, and sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes they have the advantage of having resources that you don't, but I don't think they could ever take your passion. You know, if that's your passion, they just can't take it. And if it's their passion, then that's great too. But you focus on yourself, stay away from, you know, other things that can make you feel like you're not doing much. Just like you said about the three thing that you do. Oh,
I
thank you.
found that for you.
Thank you.
I found that. No.
Oh, tell her I said thank you.
Please. I said thank you.
Yeah, focus on yourself. I think the get 3 things done on your list is a great way to keep yourself from feeling like you didn't do anything. I like that. I'm gonna try and do that.
See, we're learning from each other. That's what I like about this.
I love it too. I think it's always a great time talking with you. I think you're gonna do very well in this industry. I think there's a lot of growth, and I know a lot of people say it's saturated and not to do it, but I think those are just people that don't really know what they're talking about. I think none of us really know what's going on. We can only take it one day at a time. So just follow your passion. Keep doing. You love cats. I love your cats too, and I think
Thanks.
and I think you have a good heart, and I think it's easy to talk to you. I don't feel like I'm talking to a corporation or someone that I may never be able to know for sure who you are. No, I feel like I'm talking to Alexis, and that's all people want. Is someone just to be there and talk to them, and if they have any questions, answer them for them, and that's about it. I'm excited to see you grow. I'm excited to see.
I appreciate it. I know this is the start of a long partnership, Robert. We're going to do some things together. I'm really excited about it. We haven't talked about it yet, but we're going to talk about it soon.
I'm excited too. I can't wait. I think there's a lot of opportunity right now. I think we're still in the beginning stages of this cannabis deal. Think of it like the whole like crypto deal. And you know how like everyone was trying to hop on it to make money, and then when they did, it was a laugh. Everyone lost, or not lost, but they missed out on the opportunity when people were talking about this years before, waiting and sitting and taking that patience. And then when the hype did come up, I'm pretty sure they made a ton of money, and they believed in it. And then for the people that wanted to believe, and then kind of did the dip like the stocks do, people wanted to buy, and it just wasn't a good time. But in reality, crypto is a whole bigger scale than what people think. In the next 10 years, it's going to be a part of our living situation somehow. And I think
we're already seeing it, right? And I'm thinking about incorporating it into my own business. Like, what I think they're doing really well is, with NFTs, for example, and utilizing those for experiences. You talked about people want experiences. And so it's a very unique way to invest and also give the people what they want. And so, that's swirling for sure in the back of my head. And
yeah, I just think like cannabis is the same deal. I think we're in the stage of like everybody tried to buy in, and now like it kind of rocked down, and we're in a little pickle. But I mean, we'll always hop back out of it, especially once Joe Biden, if he does, like he says, he's gonna sign legalization, like national. I think that will jump all the companies' stocks up. I think that's gonna really change and pivot other states to just jump on the train. And then once that happens, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's over. I think that's the winning sign for everybody that's like hung on to this. There's times like we feel like we don't know what we're doing. But
right.
those are just times. They come and go, and the day it turns legal, you best believe like we will be there. Like we not.
That's right. Not giving up, right?
Yeah, not giving up. I can't emphasize how
In
much.
it for the long haul. I hear you for
That's the long
sure.
and we'll be there. So I can't wait. And I know you'll be there. So I can't wait for that either.
Yeah, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. So I've put all my eggs in one basket. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I want it to work so badly, right? And I think that's where the passion has to come in, right? And I think there's a lot of people in this industry that have that. And that's, that's what's going to make it more legitimate for people. It's what's going to make it long lasting. And, here's to
you're gonna
the
have
next
wish.
2 years, right?
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
You're gonna have wish that you had done it sooner. Like that's
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I totally do too. Like, I feel like there was this moment of like, do I do it? Right? There was a 5-year period of like, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm scared, all of those things. But once I made the leap, it was like, yeah, exactly like you said. Like, why did I wait so long?
Yeah.
Part of it is not looking stupid, right? I have this fear that I'm going to look like I'm a dumbass and I don't know what's going on. But as you and I have both experienced, it's
I think
not.
I think it's a learning process. Like, that's always been something that I've always been like adventurous to do it. Like people, the whole bagel deal, the coffee deal. Like, they're like, well, you don't even know what a cappuccino is. You don't know the difference between cappuccino and macchiato. Now I can tell you, like macchiato a little bit more coffee, cappuccino a little bit more creamer, and I gained that from probably the most embarrassing way, and that's from customers. Customers telling me how to make a cappuccino or macchiato, but once I was over that hill, like that was it. And I think like those embarrassing moments will make you learn a lot, and that's no one can pay for that. Like you have to go through the experience to be able to like say, oh, I know that, or I did that. And I went through that, and I've learned, and it took me that time. It took me that time to gain this knowledge, and people can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, like I know exactly what to do for a coffee shop or for a CBD shop or whatever, like because you don't. And we still are learning, and we're still trying to figure it out. So it's a never ending learning deal.
Absolutely.
So
well, thank you, Robert, for taking the time today to talk with me. It's been fun, a fun, wild ride.
I feel like how many cats do you have?
I have 3, so you only met 2. There's one that she won't show up. She's too snooty to ask for permission for anything. So she will not come to the door and cry unless she wants to go outside. She is the only one I have that like she hates using the litter box. So
What?
she's exclusively an outside bathroom cat. Unless it's too cold, and then she'll use it. But she wakes me up at 4 a.m. And I accommodate because I'm like, she has to go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna have this problem in the house. We have a mutual understanding.
No, I feel it. No, that's super cool. That cat.
For one day.
She,
Actually, I just changed my website. You go to my website and a picture of her. Her name is Vinny. All of my cats are named after Quentin Tarantino characters. So I had a Jules Winfield and a Vincent Vega. I thought Vinny was a boy when I got her. She's not a boy. She's a girl. But it was like 9 months down the road before I realized. And I was like, we can't change her name now. She's Vinny. So she's been Vinny ever since. And then Mia. And then we've got Aldo. And then I lost one recently. Aldo came in a pair. He had a brother. But the coyotes got him, man.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear.
Yeah, it was a traumatizing event. My 14-year-old found him. So you cannot take that kind of pain from your children. I don't wish that upon you. But, they have to learn how to deal with grief at some point in their lives. But
it's a sad.
It was devastating for a little girl, but also quite impressive. I had no idea what a coyote killing looked like, and it was quite clean. I'm just gonna say it was cleaner than I expected it to be. So I was kind of shocked and impressed. I was like, okay, coyote. I'm glad you've got a process here. I don't know.
Yeah.
That vision is stuck in my head. I'll never get it out. Never get it out.
But
You're not looking at us, Robert. Like we are still talking. We just keep talking.
No worries. I enjoy talking with y'all. I think
I
it's
enjoy
super fun.
talking with you too.
If anything, stop by the shop and we can totally. I'll have the new espresso come next week. I'll have the new espresso machine. It looks so cool. I think it looks cool.
That's
It has
awesome.
little spray. You know, whenever they do like the foamer and like the foaming little stick, and then like
Mhm.
the air. Yeah, it's gonna do the same thing. Mine didn't do that last time, and it's super cool. I'm like that feels a bit more like a barista, and I kind of it's growing on me. It's growing on me big time.
I love it. I love it. You're evolving. I like your evolution.
I'm gonna learn to make the best coffee. It's gonna be live. I want to learn to do the little art. That's gonna be my next goal too.
Absolutely. That's where you and I are going to have some conversations about some cat themed coffee.
Figure out how to do it. We'll play with it. But
We'll start with some stencils. I've been looking at how they cheat.
Oh, they cheat?
They cheat.
Really?
So some people can do it by hand, and some people just use little stencils and like powder to like get the design. Anyways, let's not give away all of our trade secrets.
I want the information. Talk to Alexis for the consultant.
So I will definitely come by, check out the new espresso machine, and we'll talk coffee and crazy people some more.
Great. Yeah, that'd be great.